What's up? Tyler. Keep plugged on. We're going to talk about the new album from Sepultura titled Quadra. This is their 15th album. The follow-up to Machine Messiah from 2017. And came out on Nuclear Blast Records. Sepultura's been around for a long time, since the late 80s. You know, one of the earlier thrash bands down from Brazil, and obviously put out classic album after classic album with Max Cavalera before things kind of went down there. He left the band, he made Soulfly, he keeps doing a bunch of different stuff, and Sepultura kind of kept going. Kind of here now, and, you know, Igor Cavalera hasn't been in the band for a while either, since about 2006, so yeah, they've just been trucking along, you could say, under this name. I enjoyed their last album, and like Kairos and stuff, I just could not get into. Their one from 2013 that has a super fucking long title that I'm blanking on. I couldn't really get into that one either. But Machine Messiah was good, but it was an album where I listened to it, I liked it, and then I kind of forgot it came out, sort of thing. So that's kind of that. But to me, these albums, while they are good, don't even hold a candle to older Sepultura.
Yeah.
With, you know, Beneath the Remains and Arise, and they're always going to be in that shadow no matter what. And I hate constantly saying that because it's kind of cliche and everybody says that about Sepultura, but it's true if you listen to those albums. But anyways, what do you think of Quadra?
I think it's going to kind of go in line with what you just said. I think this is an aggressively okay album. I don't know. I just, at least to me, I don't know. And maybe it's just because, again, I haven't listened to too much outside of classic Sepultura. I've listened to a few things here and there, some of the new stuff. But then I don't know. It's just, it was nothing really excited me too much from this. I think that's the main thing, is that structurally and like production-wise and everything, this album is good. This album's good, and I think it sounds fine. I think it's got good riffs and good solos, and the vocals are good and everything. It just is missing that, I don't know how to describe that it factor that, like, you know, a good album has. The thing that you can't describe that, you know, great albums have and other albums don't. Like, I mean, I like, and I think the front half of this album is probably I really like the first 4 tracks from this album. I think the album starts off strong, especially Isolation's great, Last Time and Capital Enslavement. I think those are all really good songs. Probably the 4 highlights from this album. It's just, to me, especially once you kind of get down to like around the Pentagram and things like that, is where this album very much kind of loses me a little bit. It's not even like, it's weird because this album's not that long in the grand scheme of things. It's only like 50 minutes, but like for whatever reason, like each time I've listened to it, it's just like, it just feels like, at least to me, it's going, and I'm like, like, I don't know. I feel like probably this album would probably be a lot better. Take away 3 songs, maybe, and it would help. And it would help with that, but it's just, I don't know. That's the main thing. Like I said, there's nothing like just that's inherently bad or like aggressively bad about it. Like, I think, you know, if this was your introduction to Sepultura, you'd probably very much dig this album. I think it's, and that's why I'm putting like a big asterisk next to my review here, because, like, again, I'm probably sitting here very much just being like, oh, but it's not this, and looking at like Chaos 80, which is probably very unfair to this album, and I will 100% admit that I am not being fair when you're listening to this, or like, it's not a Roots, it's not, you know, Refuse, Resist, or Slave New World. None of the songs are any of that here, but you kind of can't escape that. You were saying that it's cliche, but you can't avoid that comparison. It's kind of like sitting there and not looking at any Metallica album, and not looking at, boom, all right, here's the Black Album, Master of Puppets. Okay, how do you compare? It's like you know, it's hard to do, and it's honestly, there's no point in doing it. So, but
yeah, I kind of feel that way with, you know, I love Opeth. I think they've done a lot of amazing stuff, and even their albums since 2011, when they've really changed their sound from a progressive death metal band to just a prog rock band, is good. But it still doesn't... I still don't get the same feeling of when I'm listening to Still Life or Blackwater Park, and it's just they're always going to kind of live under that. And I feel like Sepultura is kind of the same way. Like, you can't compare it to the older stuff because it's a completely different band with a completely different sound, but it's hard to just get away from it. And on its own, I do think there is some pretty good stuff on here, especially if you're a fan of just some thrashy good riffs, in big fucking in your face vocals. Like, Isolation's the best song on here in my opinion, and that song is just a banger from start to finish. And if there's a song that I'm coming back to, it's this one. Just because, especially with the way it starts, once all the drums are kicked in, that riff is super simple, but that is a get in the pit fucking riff. Yeah. It's awesome. And it's the whole thing from start to finish is great. Derek Green sounds great on it, on vocals. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And I agree with you. I think this album starts off really well. I love Means to an End. I like Last Time. There's a lot of really good riffs, great aggression there. And then, Capital Enslavement's good. But to me, from there on out, it's hit or miss. Like, I like Raging Void isn't bad. Guardians of Earth, I think, is pretty cool. There's a lot more symphonic nature to that, and that's one thing that I do like about Sepultura. Some of that older stuff, Roots is the biggest example of that, where they had more of a Brazilian sort of sound in there. They still have some of that sometimes, and I wish they would just use more of it. Yeah, because it would just make it so much more interesting, and a little bit more memorable to me. And when they do more symphonic or more melodic stuff, I'm like, bring it on. Guardians of Earth is one that I think is good in that nature. Agony of Defeat, I think, is another good song. But then, to me, the final track, Fear, Pain, Chaos, and Suffering, just pisses me off. And I say that in that, there's some female vocals on here, which is cool. For Sepultura, I'm like, okay, this is something different. Bring it on. To me, they constantly kill the momentum of this song. And when they finally get some momentum in, like, the chorus or something, then the guitarist is just all chopped up. It's weird. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you had it going of something that was just going to be fucking awesome. And then it's just constantly chopped up. And I don't know. Like I said, I think there's good stuff on here. There's cool riffs. But I just feel, once again, this is another album that I listen to from Sepultura. I'm like, I like it. I like these songs. I won't listen to this the rest of the year, probably. Yeah. I'll be totally honest with you. And I don't know. Because it's Sepultura. They're such a legendary band. You feel you kind of need to listen to it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just, kind of my thoughts on that. Like, there's good stuff, but it is what it is.
There's a cat.
It's a cat.
It is what it is.
She wants to talk about some Sepultura. So, yeah. And, to me, Derek Green's a good vocalist, and I like him, but to me, there's not a whole lot of fluctuation in a lot of the vocal tracks.
Yeah,
to where it's kind of like
agree with that.
The same sort of feel every song. And to be honest with you, I don't think this album's as good as their last one, Machine Messiah. They did a lot of really interesting stuff on there, and there was a lot more, even though, like I said, it's not an album that I came back to a lot, but I did revisit it recently just because this was coming out. And I'm like, okay, there's some really, there's some hooks here on a couple tracks, for sure. Like Sworn Oath and Phantom South and I Am the Machine's just a short, quick, to-the-point song. And I don't think this album's as good as their last one, if I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. So, yeah. Any last thoughts?
No, not really.
I'm just waiting for her to try to knock your water bottle.
Yeah, it's fine. It's made out of metal now, so it won't break anymore. So.
All right. What'd you give this?
I'd give it I give it a 7. 7 out of 10. I think it's fair.
I feel like that's a fair score. 7 out of 10. The official plugged on score.
There we go.
Let us know what you think of Quadra from Sepultura. Thanks for watching or listening. See you later.